all doing? You know, the acoustics, I really need to get a mic. I see you all YouTubers and you're doing a really good job, but any suggestions for mics? I don't know. I find that my audio sometimes it just sounds a little crazy, but then again, it sounds weird hearing yourself talk. How are y'all doing today? Thank you and welcome to another video with the Chic Mortgage Millennial. What are we going to discuss today? So as I said before, I'm trying to be consistent with these videos that I put out, and I just want to ramp up and get a lot of good material out there. That way you all have some videos to look at about mortgages. And I wanted to come to you all and discuss life as a mortgage loan originator. Life as a loan officer, life as a mortgage consultant, whatever the cool title is nowadays, right? So many titles. But for the most part, loan officer is what many of you all are familiar with. But I like to call myself a mortgage loan originator because that's what's on my license, right? Many of you all are familiar with the term loan officer. Tomato, tomato, call me anything, but don't call me. So as a loan officer, mortgage loan originator, some of the things that we do is crunch numbers. I love numbers. I started working at the bank. That was my first job. I was talking to people about retirement accounts before I even knew what one was, really. It was just kind of like, okay, I went through training and say this is what this is. And as life went on, I learned a lot more. So what I find is if you are a finance or mortgage professional, that experience is going to be your best teacher because they can teach you so many different things. You're going to take these tests, but until you're able to apply all of your knowledge to real life experiences, that's where that true experience comes and you're able to overcome future situations. To be a loan officer, you have to take a test in most cases. So you can either be a loan officer who works for the bank, where you do not have to be state licensed, but the bank sponsors you, or you can be a mortgage loan originator who is licensed, takes a state exam, takes continuing education every year. As for what is the difference, you know, there are some really good loan officers that work for banks, and there are some really good loan officers that work for lenders who are licensed. There are some really bad loan officers that work at banks, and there are some really bad loan officers who work with lenders. So the main thing is you want to find someone that you trust. But what do I do? How's my day to day? What I do is I help people get pre-approved for a home. And by doing this, I send out different checklists of documents that is needed depending on the loan. And I crunch numbers, do calculations, look at their debt to income ratio, all of these different terms that someone just may be like, wait, what? What are y'all talking about? But my main goal is to see, okay, how much house you can afford. If you can afford a house, what monthly mortgage payment can you afford? And I partner with the Realtor in order to make sure that we are giving you a solid pre-approval and they can put in a solid offer and have a solid contract, which will then go through processing, it will go through underwriting, and we help you throughout that process. Help you collect documents if the underwriter asks for conditions. Maybe they're saying, hey, so I found that there was a deposit. We need you to write a letter of explanation. We need proof of funds, all of this type of stuff. I pretty much communicate with you throughout the time just to make sure you have a clear understanding as to how we can overcome various conditions throughout the mortgage transaction. Once the loan is approved, then we go to compliance, go through compliance, and then your mortgage is sent to the closing department and they partner with the title company to draft those closing docs that you want to sign. Now, in most cases, when we're describing the process, it really doesn't seem like a long process. You're like, okay, they're just gonna check off that I can get it, right? But because a mortgage is the largest financial decision that you're going to make in your entire life in most cases, or some people have several mortgages, it's a major investment. So your loan has to go through different processes, and that can be, you know, you have to get your house appraised, you may decide to get an inspection. If there's a situation where the appraisal comes back and they're requiring certain repairs, then we want to make sure that those repairs are done. So all of that can add time to the mortgage transaction. And as your loan officer, we ride this whole roller coaster with you. So many times I talk to clients or borrowers and they're like, I'm nervous. I don't know, I'm nervous. So I'm dealing with all of the nerves and just trying to keep you level-headed, bring it on back down, tell you to bring it back on down to life. This is a real red flag. This is a real red flag, or this is not something that I would worry about. Just make sure you provide the documentation needed. With our experience, we can kind of help you navigate through different situations. Of course, we're working with multiple people at a time. Same thing with processors who are helping you with the transaction. Same thing with realtors. We have multiple clients that we're working with, so it's all about time management. If you're interested in being a loan officer or a loan originator, you want to make sure that you are giving your clients the time that they need, because at the end of the day, they've decided to come to you for one of the largest purchases of their entire life. So being that they're coming to me, I can't necessarily say, well, I'm sorry, I have blah, blah, blah amount of clients that I'm dealing with, so I don't have time to answer that question right there now. No, you want to build an environment where there's no stupid question. Ask me any question you have. This is your first time purchasing a house, and I want to give them that same respect and, just same sense of urgency, courtesy, all of the above, your counselor, mentor, whatever you decide to call it. But, you're just managing the emotions of several different parties involved. Sometimes you're managing emotions of realtors, right? When realtors, did the appraisal come back? Did the appraisal come back? Did the appraisal, where are we with the loan? Where are we? So you might have to double answer questions, but you just have to set expectations. Something that I like to do is just set guidelines. Hey, the response right now for questions like this is about 24 to 48 hours. Or, if I have to get an update from an underwriting condition, just know right now things are taking a little bit longer, but I should have a response to you by close of business. Setting expectations versus, just giving a clear, or just saying, hey, I don't have the answer right now. People don't want to hear what you don't have, okay? They want to know that you are having their best interest. You're constantly seeking to understand their issue, clarify their issue, and not that it's just, oh, I go through this every day, chill out, you'll be fine. No, it's a stressful situation, so you're just managing the stress of others every day. Going through doing approvals, evaluating credit. Those are some of the day-to-day things that I do as a mortgage loan originator or loan officer. If you're interested in becoming a loan originator or a loan officer, it's best to check out NMLS. They hold the licensing requirements, and they'll let you know for your state what you have to do to be licensed. In most cases, if this is your first time being licensed, you may have to take a 20-hour education course, or if not, there are certain windows. Every year we have to do 8-hour education. So you have to constantly make sure that you're informed of all of the changes that are coming down the pipeline when it comes to regulations. Things are changing all of the time. I'm interested to see what changes are going to happen, after this election, because you just never know. So you want to make sure that you're always informed with what's going on in the mortgage industry. Sales, you want to make sure that you are putting yourself out there. You can get referrals through word of mouth, through past clients. You can get referrals from realtors, but you just want to make sure you're constantly seeking to obtain new clients, because it's 100% commission usually. Licensed mortgage loan originators are usually 100% commission. So that's something that you want to keep in mind if you're interested. You have to be willing to hustle to get these clients and to get these deals. And that's why when it comes to managing the stress of others, you're not necessarily going to say, look, you can leave, because you don't want, it's your livelihood. You want to make sure if it's something that you can fix or something that you can resolve, that you're just putting your best foot forward, because at the end of the day, you're in control of your income. And at the same time, let's say if there's a situation where someone is just not a best fit for you, you can say, hey, I would have loved to help you with this transaction, but I'm just not experienced in this certain type of loan situation, but you're free to get a second opinion, and you're free to, at the end of the day, you don't have to work with everyone. Everyone is not going to work with you. Another thing about being a loan officer, or just being a business professional, several times people will come to you for mortgage advice or seek mortgage pre-approvals, and you'll help them work numbers and get them to where they need to be, and then they might decide to go with another lender. And when I first started being a loan originator, I was like, dang, that's messed up. You came to me and now you just signed up. I don't know if I can tell y'all what I used to say, but I used to say, because I'm younger, sometimes it just sounds better coming from an older person, right? It's the same information. I might have more knowledge than they have, but because it's coming out of someone else's mouth, some people just like to go with that better. Like, they like to ask you the real questions, and then they take your scenario to another person, and the other person close the deal. I just try not to get emotionally invested, and I tell people, you know, that's fine. You want to make the best decision for you. Even though in your head you might be like, you said what? You gonna disrespect, you said. But, you know, that's a part of it as well. So because we are commission, 100% commission, there are going to be some people who decide not to work with you, who may have started off working with you. But you just have to know that, keep it rolling. As they say, don't count your money until the loan closes, okay? Until the check is in your account, because things are constantly changing. And I just try not to get emotional when it comes to money, because I'm doing something that I love to do. I love to help people become homeowners. I love finance. I love banking. I love it. Instead of taking it hard or harsh and being like, you know, that's really messed up, I just try to be open-minded when it comes to everything. People are going to make the best decision for them, and don't take things personal. I see my video time increasing. I don't want to make this a long video, but I wanted to kind of let you know, day in the life as a mortgage loan originator. And if you have any questions, let me know. Again, I make these videos when I'm looking like something. Because during this pandemic, okay, we don't do makeup every day. But if I decide to like look like something, I'm gonna try to bring you all a video talking about some mortgage things. So make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Please like, please subscribe. That way I can continue to make these videos for you. And if there's ever something that you want me to discuss, please share it in the comments, and I will try to make a video about it. And again, this is your Chic Mortgage Millennial, Allison McCartan, coming to you with a video about some mortgage things.